mixture rich, throttle closed, remaining timers blocked, fuel shut off knob is in. Alright. Master switch on. Ramming. Set. Clear prop. Holding brakes. How this thing starts easier cold than it does warm. Yeah. Alright. Idle. Sure, taxi. Oil pressure, oil temp are good. Fuel and charging all good.
That explains it. What? They did their run up around here.
Oh, okay.
That's why it was so loud.
Yeah, that's why they were chucking so much prop wash off.
I wonder if that's allowed. But whatever.
Alright, so VHF's on. Off road. I was wondering why yesterday it felt like one of my ears was going quiet. Apparently it's because I had it turned down.
Oh.
I didn't realize because at some point in the flight it had turned this way so I couldn't even see it.
Oh.
So I figured out a new way to hang.
So it's like that, your solo too?
That was on the later part of my solo. Also, I managed to drop the checklist and couldn't get it out after my first landing, so that was interesting. That's why I took pictures of it. Add the checklist to my iPad or my tablet here, so that way I've got it.
All right.
On hand. But so we need to talk to parents. And ATIS.
Instruction to stand practice approach and use due to runway configuration. Advise on initial contact evade information Foxtrot. Caller springing to import ATIS range with Foxtrot 1454 Zulu 1350 at 9er is 1110 sky clear. Temperature 21 check safety altitude 2.7 altitude 3039er. Visual approach and use landing and departing runway 35 right runway 1. So examine runway 35 left close. Runway center Charlie 5 Charlie 6 Charlie 7 Alpha 5 Alpha 6 Alpha 7 close. Taxiway Charlie south of hotel close. Taxiway Alpha south of Alpha 4. Runway 35 right ILS off the service. Limited inspection of and practice approach and use due to runway configuration. Advise on initial contact evade information Foxtrot.
Alright. At some point I'll figure out the brake configuration for the quartz.
Oh yeah.
Springs clearance, Cessna 7899 November, at the Aero Club with information Foxtrot request departure to the east practice area.
79 November Springs clearance on departure 5 runway heading. Maintain the VFR altitude Africa 190,000. Departure frequency is 120.6 squawk 4615.
Fly runway heading at or below 900,000. VFR departure frequency 120.6. Squawk 4615 says 909 November.
9 November, read back correct. That's a 10 November, same for you, departure frequency of 120.6.
Alright, so 120.6 is not the normal for what we have, so it's a good thing we pay attention.
Okay.
Alright, so dialed in. Brakes are good on my side.
Our test lines.
Alrighty.
Brakes are good. Back to the controls.
Alright. I'm gonna taxi a little bit forward, then I'm gonna cut hard right so I don't blast Martina.
Alright.
Cat 526, bring Sharon, Texas parking, Alpha Alpha 2, good day. Alpha Alpha 2, Cat 526, good day.
So I counted, it was actually 5 times circling the airport yesterday.
5 times?
5 times I had to circle in between the parallels. Or I guess kind of over 17 right, but yeah.
So you practice turns around a point.
Pretty much.
Wow, that's a lot. 5 times. Even after you said student pilot solo?
Yep. It's because, like I said, they had 3 people who were lined up to take off of runway 35
Yeah.
right, and they had 2 bounds in that whole mess. And it was all scheduled flights, so like airline stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, like I said, man, he took it like a champ, man, because a lot of people get flustered when the unexpected happens like that, and it's like, oh, what do I do? But
I think we've done enough practice out here and gotten weird stuff.
oh yeah, especially that night we flew.
Right. So I felt like I was reasonably prepared for that.
5 times, wow.
Yeah. I definitely think I need to get some active noise canceling headsets at some point so that I can hear them better. But
yeah, that's a life changer. I went through my whole training without noise canceling.
yeah,
Once I got my CFI, I was like, let me buy a gift. I'm like, damn, I should have bought this a long time ago.
yeah. I used some of the Bose ones back for my Discovery flight.
Yeah.
And wish I could afford them then.
Yeah. I'd say wait till Black Friday or towards Christmas.
Right.
But these are usually $900, but I got this for like $500 with the discount.
Aren't those the 3s too?
The light Zulu, yeah, the Zulu 3.
So they just came out with the 4s, so those 3s ought to be starting to get cheaper too.
True. But once you become a CFI, you get discounts for headsets, so I was able to apply that, plus the Black Friday discount too, so
Nice.
came to like $500. It's still a lot of money, but whatever. I know Bose, last year for Bose, for every purchase that you did, you also got like a waterproof speaker.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
but that's looks like fine. But they're doing a soft field takeoffs. All right, so I'll show you the soft field takeoff on this one.
Okay.
And when we go out there, come back, we're gonna see if we can do touch and goes, and then have you practice.
Yeah, we'll see, because it is a holiday today, so
Yeah, fingers crossed.
I'll bet you some of the other flight schools are going to be busy out here too, as well as
If not, we
actual
just go to Pueblo.
Yep.
So the idea today is going to take off, have you navigate to a VOR.
Okay.
Midway, have you navigate to Pueblo's VOR.
Okay.
And we'll see if we can get landings here, or if not, we'll just go to Pueblo, do the landings there, come back, the east practice here, and do unusual attitudes. And we can come back.
Alrighty. Definitely because it would be in low wing. They've got more of the bubble cockpit, but
That's true.
alright. Yes. Wind's coming from behind us, so I'd have to make my big left turn again.
So I'll say the easiest way to remember all this, which way to point is to just point in the general direction you're going to take off in. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Spring ground, King Air 356 Victor Charlie, Echo 4, taxi to Jet Centers. King Air 356 Victor Charlie,
Still on both. Brakes are held. Full rich.
4, straight in. Golf, clear cross, 35 left, Alpha.
So here's another way to like lean the mixture also.
Okay.
So we know that for if you go to the next page,
Ground, this is AirShare 718 at
We want to be
full power. You want to be at what fuel rate?
So it'd probably be 10 to 11.
So we are roughly around 6.2. So our closest altitude is going to be 6,000. So you want to lean this to about 12. So apply full power.
Okay. So lean based off of that.
Yeah.
Alright, and then bring it back down to the 1800 for the mag checks.
All right. So that's another way to lean the throttle or your mixture.
Fairly simple.
Yeah.
Alright. Engine instruments, good on oil pressure, temp, fuel, amperes. See if we can get the tachometer to cooperate with us today. Definitely think I prefer the analog tachometers.
Oh yeah.
They seem to be a little less
accurate.
finicky. Suction gauge is good. So I don't know if they're necessarily more accurate, they're just less finicky.
Oh yeah.
The RPM is just bouncing back and forth every time I do anything with it.
True.
It doesn't sit steady. Alright. Attitude indicator's good. Heading indicator. Definitely not good.
4 located at terminal, requesting access to station 2. Mike, Golf, Echo 3, cross formway 17 left.
About 32.
Can you just take the perimeter road on Foxtrot?
Okay.
Copy, request information. Mike, Golf, Echo, Foxtrot, 2
Trim's good. Switch over to the tower. Alright. Trim's good. Fuel selector's still on both. Flight controls. I think when it comes time to replace my tablet, I'm going to switch to a smaller size on this.
Say what, Android or get an iPad?
So I'm probably going to stay with Android, honestly. I've gotten used to Garmin.
Yeah.
And Garmin.
Is that Samsung?
Huh? It's a Samsung, yeah. Garmin and ForeFlight all do the same things at this point. So I don't know if there's a good reason to try and relearn.
Sure, Samsung has a nice size tablet. Small.
Yep. Alright. Doors, windows are closed and locked. We'll close that. Okay, clearance. Radios. Need to plug in our departure frequency. Alright, transponder's still set on alt mode. Strobes will come on. For our takeoff, guess you're gonna.
Yeah, so it'll be a soft field takeoff.
So I'll put 10 degrees of flaps in.
Alright.
Then full open, pitch slightly higher than normal, it says.
Okay.
Which I assume is you're trying to keep the nose wheel from digging.
Yeah.
Which, conversely with the tail wheel, you'd want to pitch forward a little bit to try and get the weight off of it.
678 visual.
Make sure we lean.
678 Springs Tower,
so
line 3609, runway
once you pick up, level off ground effect to 81 85 and then climb at 85.
Alright, cool.
7 Whiskey, continuing down the runway,
Alright,
turn left
I'll take
at
controls.
Controls.
Now you can do the radios.
Left at taxi with Charlie, 7 Julie Whiskey.
Springs Tower, Cessna 7899 November, pulling short of runway 31 at Bravo 5, ready for takeoff.
7899 November, Springs Tower.
Alright. That is why they said Roger.
Yeah. So the big thing with soft field takeoffs or landings is that you're trying to prevent the nose wheel from digging into the ground. So we're going to simulate that we're on a soft field derailment, so it's just going to be all the way back.
Yep.
And whenever you're rolling onto the runway to take off, you don't want to brake. You want it to be a continuous roll. So because if you brake, you know, you can dig your nose forward. Yeah. So it's a continuous roll onto the runway, and you apply full power, pitch all the way back. As the aircraft gains speed, you're going to reduce the pitch, but also keep the nose up. Civil air patrol. Yeah. So we got the winds coming from the right side. So we are right crosswind.
70 Whiskey, ground point 7. Cat 565 parking Jet Center or Aeroflot?
Cat 565 Jet Center.
Cat 565 continuing down the runway, turn left at taxiway Charlie, ground point 7.
Cat 565 left at Charlie, ground point 7.
By the looks of it, almost the windsock's almost perpendicular to the runway.
Yeah. So, once you take off, I'm going to have you navigate to, you zoom out.
Got this VOR here?
No. Hugo VOR, it's east of the map.
Okay, okay, yep.
So, do you remember VORs from ground school?
Marginally, but
Okay.
so I want to dial in our frequency, which is on the nav, right?
Okay.
So it would be 1, 2, 2, 1.
Okay, and then what can you tell me? What's the dots in the dash there for?
That's the Morse, so if I wanted to listen to the nav, I could verify that that we're listening to the right one based off of the dots and dashes we hear.
Okay. So once we tune to the VOR, you're gonna listen to the Morse code, make sure we identify the correct Morse code. You can only do that in the air, so yeah. So what if you're tuned into the right VOR frequency, but you don't hear no Morse code? What could be an indication?
First one is that we could be too far away.
Okay.
Because a lot of them only, so if it's a terminal VOR, it's only got a 25 nautical mile radius, the low altitude 40.
Do you know where to find information of what type of VOR it is?
Off the top of my head.
It will be in the airport facility directory or the truck.
This is expanded high altitude, so we should be able to hear it.
Okay. So what could be another issue?
VOR antennas might be out too, which is why we're supposed to check them on the pre-flight.
Okay.
VOR maybe gone out. A lot of these aren't being maintained anymore. Basically, once it stops working, FAA doesn't repair it. They just mark it off as not working, but they also don't often go and check. Yeah, that is.
Yeah, so that's the
runway 31 at Bravo 5, line up and wait.
Line up and wait. Runway 31. Cessna 7899 over.
Yeah, so the main answer I was looking for is the high chances out of service. tune into the,
Exit 678, continue down the runway, turn left.
what do you call the Buttes VOR one time, and got like AM stations.
To the end, Alpha
That's
1,
weird.
cross runway 35 left at Alpha 1 over to ground position 678.
Another got 6 Tango Charlie, the excessive traffic you'll be passed behind is just proceeding on runway 31 at Bravo 5.
Alright, so we're doing our...
Yeah, we have the traffic inside, but we don't see him anymore. I don't know why it's usually.
Yeah, 6 Tango Charlie, Roger. Just
Hey, what about the dash line?
Set by.
Underneath the frequency.
Dash line, I don't remember off the top of my head on that one.
So that tells you that there's no voice.
Oh, okay.
So you can't use that to contact flight service.
Gotcha.
What about Black Forest VR? See what first?
Black Forest VOR?
That's north of Colorado Springs.
7899 November, runway 31, wind 36012, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 3-1. Okay. Controls are full aft. Yep, full power.
And look up 6 Tango Charlie, says the traffic's on the roll now.
Yeah, I see that traffic now. Helicopter.
6 Tango Charlie just passed behind that traffic, VOR Navigation for the ramp.
Pass behind. Hopefully he's on the ramp. On the 31, and then we'll land.
Gonna go pitch down to ground effect.
LH 85.
Alright. There's 85. Are we looking to climb past the 50-foot obstacle? That's up. Now we're climbing up at 90. 95. That was pretty simple. Nothing crazy. Alright, air patrols.
So, with the Black Forest VOR, based off the NOTAM, it's out of service.
Okay.
030.
Turn right heading 030.
So that's another thing you want to be aware of also, right? The NOTAMs tell you if your navigational facilities are out of
18
service.
Springs Tower, runway 31, wind 36011, clear for takeoff.
Runway 31, clear for takeoff, air shares 18.
Okay, so once we get clearance on altitude navigation, navigate me to
Turn right heading 080.
Turn right heading 080.
let's navigate to the Hugo VOR.
Okay.
Yeah, we're down 20, says 85, short 130, up to short 31, up to stop at
'How's the radios for you? Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What altitude are we climbing up to?
Probably 85.
Well, let's say you're in a cross country. They're going towards the east. What would be a good altitude for you?
Yes. Cross country would probably be. Even altitudes at like even whole altitudes for eastbound, I think.
Okay, so 0 to 179.
Yep. Yep.
is odd thousand plus 500.
Plus 500.
And then 180 to 360 is even thousand plus 500.
Okay, so we would need to do...
It should be on your the keyboard too.
Probably is.
Yeah, right here.
Okay, you have odd thousand plus 500. 7,800 feet. 900, remember?
Remember, thank you.
Alright, so we'll want to go with probably 9.5.
Okay.
For 65 foot tail alpha, is the Air Force Academy still reading today? Number 5, Alpha, the Air Force Academy is closed, so you can transition that airspace if you'd like. Alright, thank you. Yeah, we'll probably follow the foothills northbound towards Centennial. 65 foot alpha.
Okay, let's try and see if we can get the what do you call it? The VOR.
Alright.
So first step is to tune in the frequency, which we already did.
Yep.
And then what's next up?
That's not how that's still good.
I assume to listen to it during
Yeah, so identify the frequency. Make sure we're on the correct one and it's operating.
Kilo, unable to direct power, the flight power is trained to port out of every 7,500 again. We'll get you a little bit of a check for the content plan and we're going to go for now.
So try and, is it pulled?
What's that?
Is it pulled? So I see here, pull to ident.
Oh, pull agent?
Yeah. So yeah, so tune in, yep. What do you say?
Just a second. Well, on here. Oh, is it? Yep.
Alright. So we know that it's the right frequency and it's operating, right?
Yep.
So next step, since you want to fly to the VOR,
Yep.
we're gonna twist it and what we're looking for? We're looking for a 2 flag, right?
Yep.
So you're gonna twist it until you center the needle.
Number 5 kilo, the Academy Coast Delta is closed, just remain on that heading.
So now this is telling you that you fly to the station.
Maybe at 080? Or 085 or so?
Yeah, 085 should be on the station. So now you want to fly ahead until 085. And then that should take you directly to the station. So
More or less are on.
Yeah, exactly. So essentially flying towards the beach right there. So now from here, your aim is to center the needle as you're flying. You'll maintain that 085 radio to the station.
Gotcha. Honestly, it's a bit of a shame that they're starting to get rid of these.
What? The VORs?
Yeah.
Navigation.
Oh, yeah. I like them.
Navigation by the way, 5 kilo.
Especially for when you shoot an ILS with the needles, it makes you feel like a real pilot.
Yeah. Sure, it's 1940s technology, but it still works.
Still works, man.
I have a fondness for old stuff anyway.
Oh yeah. Like classic stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why I drive old junkers I do.
You have a lot of character to them.
Yeah.
So now on a windy day, maintaining 085 when you're headed will definitely not put you on the needle.
Right.
So in that instance, you would have to crab into the wind to maintain the radio. It looks like today's pretty calm, so we're good.
November traffic, 12 o'clock, 4 miles, northwestbound, Cherokee, level 10,000.
Negative contact for 77 November, descending 9,000.
Number 74 November, thank you.
Cherokee 2 Foxtrot Golf traffic 2 o'clock 3 miles, crosses westbound, Skyhawk 90,500 for 90,000.
Alright, we're looking 2 Foxtrot Golf.
Basically, you just gotta keep fine-tuning it until you get to where you're going.
That's one way of doing it. But I think that's cheating.
That's not
So-
4 November, that traffic has you in sight.
When I'm navigating with VORs, I set the VOR to a particular radio. So essentially we are on the, what do you call it, the 265 radio flying to the station. So from here I'm going to use my head into, or the crab to adjust for the winds.
Okay.
So you can see that the wind is pushing us to the left side of the radio. So you want to have a little bit of a right crab to offset that. So this is what we call intercepting the radio.
Gotcha.
So fly heading of 095. And now you're intercepting, you're going back onto it. And once you get to 095, fly about 090 to intercept. Sorry, my bad. So the needle is to the left of you, so you want to go back to.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my mistake. So the wind's pushing you from the left side. So about 075 to get us back. Now you're going to fly that and wait till the needle comes back.
Colorado Springs information Gulf is current. Colorado Springs altimeter 3038.
You can see it slowly coming back in. Yep. Now we know a heading of 060 is going to overshoot us to the radio. So once we get the radio line, we want to have a little bit less of a correction.
November 55 Kilo, radar services terminated. Squawk VFR change to advisory frequency approved. Use caution, I'm showing multiple in the pattern at Meadow Lake. Highest target I'm seeing is 87,800.
Obviously, the steeper your interception angle, the faster.
The faster you'll intercept, but
Yeah.
also the faster you gotta correct
Yeah, exactly.
what you do.
So on this heading, you can see that slowly coming in.
Right.
We have a wide distance to get there, so there's no rush. But now we know that the winds are coming from the left side, so we have to correct for that. Alright, so we're on the 082 radio. I mean,
Springs departure, Spark Cruiser 19, Victor 5.
still 245, your name's radio. Flying 082 to the station.
Radar contact, zooming out to
Now headed to what?
Validation.
005.
Yeah, 19, Victor 5K.
We have about a 10-degree angle right here. Eccentric.
Kind of crazy that back in the day they used these and then the big old Pony Express postal service
Oh, yeah.
arrows on the ground.
Oh yeah.
Still have a few of those around too.
This plane doesn't have it, but the ADF, the location compass locator, that's like way older than this one.
Yeah.
November 74 November, VFR altitude discussion. Tango Alpha, traffic 2 o'clock, 1 mile, westbound, Skyhawk 90,100 climbing.
We got traffic back in the Tango Alpha. We're going to
if you wanted to intercept a particular radio, so in this example, let's say,
99 November, radar service is terminated. Squawk VFR frequency change approved. Taxi land on the way back.
Squawk VFR, radar service terminated. Alright.
okay. So let's say you wanted to intercept the 2-4 radio to the station.
Yep.
So you're gonna twist this, or let's say the this is the reciprocal, the 060 radio, the 06 to the station, but you're on the 240 radio.
Yep.
So what would you do to intercept that? It's easy. So we know that the radio is to the left, to the right side, right?
Right,
So just fly one of these headings.
okay.
So the steeper it is, the faster you get there. The shallower it is, the slower you get there. So good heading will be 120.
Okay.
So you're just gonna fly that until the needle starts to center.
And then we make our correction to point back towards it.
Number 7 Tango Alpha, contact number 12041.
20.1, private 7 Tango Alpha.
This is definitely useful, especially when you get into IMC conditions.
Right. Number 5, Hotel Alpha.
Oh, when you get lost.
132.75.
Because without looking at your GPS, do you know where we are right now? Right. It's kind of hard to know where we are, but if you know the VOR frequency, you can just navigate through there.
Right. So if I lose my phone and my tablet here,
Yeah.
pull out my VFR sectional, figure out what's my nearest VOR or the VOR that we here where I'm trying to get back to,
Yeah.
and navigate by that.
Exactly. So let's say you want to go back to Colorado Springs. We have the Black Forest VOR.
Right. Oh, we did.
Yeah. That should take us to.
So I guess it's not necessarily out of service, it's just not maintained is what it says.
Not maintained.
So.
And if you have two VORs, you can use that to triangulate your position. Yeah. You only have one in this. Okay, so 9,005. What should be the cruise power setting or mixture?
Mixture for cruise.
So that's another thing we have to do on for your cross country.
Okay.
So you go to this page.
Okay. So we're sitting about 2,500 RPM. We want to have about 9.3 gallons per hour.
So altitude is what, 95?
Our altitude is closer to 10. So
Okay.
7.8 gallons per hour.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool. Now we're waiting to accept that. Again, like I said, if you want to get there faster, we can always steepen the
Angle, yeah.
angle.
You can see as we're coming down, kind of. Wait, we're looking, so it'll be.
Paint drawn that?
I could, yeah.
So I want you to draw a line on the radio that we are on right now.
Cherokee 50 Echo.
See if I can get this
Someone else in navigation mode.
VOR Navigation out to 250.
You need us slowly moving in.
Yeah, I do see that. Doesn't look like it wants to draw at the moment. I'd have to.
Okay.
I know it's something you can do. I just don't know if I've got it set up to do it properly. So, I can see the needle starting to move.
Alright.
So that would be potentially a sign that maybe once we get to the two dots closest to the center, start moving back towards it.
What's up? These ones?
These two dots off the center start.
For me, once it's on the second dot.
That's what I was saying, yeah.
Yeah. So do you know which, how much, what's the degrees for each dot?
I don't off the top of my head.
So we have 5 dots, right?
Okay.
Each of them is 2.
2, so it's a total of 10 off.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. So. I can see the range changing as we.
Clear direct.
As we,
Thank you.
Delta.
well, no, I'm saying like as I start my turn back towards it, I can see the rate of it moving change too. And then once we are on it, we want to have our heading be about 060, right?
Yeah. Again, depending on what the winds are doing, you want to adjust for that. So, right.
Cam off. Ready for turning center.
And spring departure, smokers along the vector flight. Can I get a frequency change and through all?
So right now, the needle's to the left of us, on the circle, right? So what is it telling us?
Change to advisory frequency approved.
Go left or
Okay.
VFR.
Frequency change approved. Flight service terminated. Smokers along the vector flight.
We overshot it a little bit is what that means.
Okay.
So, why don't I turn it back that way? Realize I smiling when I didn't need to be.
Now it's telling us center it. So I want to
get on to 060.
Alright. So from here we're going to look for what the needle's doing based on the wind, and then we'll adjust that. Do you remember how many times we have to reset the BG with the mag? Often?
Like every 30 minutes or so.
Every 15 minutes.
Okay.
There's a perceptual out of it.
Right. And that'll change depending on how much many turns you're doing too.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're doing a lot more turns, that'll.
Yeah, well, once you when you do instrument training, there's going to be instances where we have to do approaches that's based on that, so that's covered. It throws you off because it's moved like backwards, you know?
Right.
Weird. The way I see it is that you have to pull towards your...
06 with you at
off your head.
06 Spring Foot, start of Springville, terminus 3038. 3038, Rally 06.
First Turn 8650 Echo, we're about 3 miles east of Meadow Lake and headed out, and we're going to go to the east park there.
Cherokee 8650 Echo, Springville, squad 46. Springville, terminus 3039er.
So it looks like 045, keeping us centered.
Then 045 or 050.
050.
Number after completion, deploy lateral heading, maintain VFR out of road 9000, departure frequency 124.0.
So runway heading up on 9,000, departure frequency 124.0.
Cherokee 50 Echo, your radar contact 14 miles northeast, Colorado Springs Airport.
That's right.
Okay, we have about 10 nautical miles to the station. So as we get closer and closer and closer, the needle is going to become more sensitive.
Right.
So you know that once you know that we're getting close to the station, it's recommended that you don't chase the needle.
Yeah.
You just fly ahead until you see the two flags switch to and from. That means that you've crossed it, or you've entered a cone of confusion.
Right.
And once you see a from, that means you're flying 060 from the station, so you're flying away from the station.
I'll be doing the course arrival for the Academy relative.
I guess it's neat too that you do have the option for the from, because you can use that as navigation if there's not a VOR ahead of you.
Yeah, you
just
can
keep on the right bearing line.
You can definitely use that. But then you also have the whole reverse sensing and all that we can get into. So I'll show you that when once we cross this. So right now we're flying 060 to the station. So what radio are we on?
What radio? We're on the 240.
Yeah, 240 radio, exactly. right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. The guy on YouTube calls himself Dirtbag Pilot.
Who?
You're doing?
Who?
Dirtbag Pilot.
No.
So he's out in Wisconsin and he flies a little Cessna 150. But his current goal right now is to sit on every airport couch in Wisconsin.
So he's flying everywhere in Wisconsin right now?
all the little airports out there, yeah. But one of the things he did is he got to go out to one of the VORs being decommissioned.
Okay.
And take a look inside it.
That's pretty neat. I always wondered what it looks like inside.
Yeah, it's just kind of a brown room with a bunch of server racks and radio equipment.
Is it safe to like go in there with it operating? With all the radiation?
I mean, it's microwave radiation, so it's not going to do a ton of lasting damage to you.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not ionizing or anything like that. So we're coming up on it.
Okay.
While
See that flag slowly starting to switch.
yeah. There it is.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Nice. So right now we are basically over it, which is the point of confusion.
Which is why it's got that off section.
Yeah.
And we're going to switch this one from.
And you can watch what the needle does. Oh, so now you're flying from the station, right?
Right.
Flying away from it. Again, if you want to fly at some particular... So right now we're on the 060 radio.
Right.
Okay. So in that case, fly me on the 0... Let's see. It's 270 radio from. Here you go.
Okay. So, you want to bring this all the way around then? Or, no, actually we want to keep it on 270. So, about there.
Oh,
wait, no.
Yes, there you go.
So we want to go to the...
Right now we're still flying from it, right?
Right.
So to fly 270 from, you have to be on the other side of the radio, right?
Right, so we want to go to the left then.
Yeah, so center 270 to the top. Like, put 270 to the top.
Okay.
So this is telling us to fly to the station. We gotta go to the left, right?
Yep.
So essentially what I'm asking is to fly to the point where you see a from flag. Which means cross the station and then get a from station.
Okay. So we gotta basically make a 180 more or less.
Exactly. After a few lessons, it's gonna be you out here by yourself, man. for cross country.
Yep. Turned out to be what we call the child of the magenta line.
Shout out to the magenta line. So, yeah, so on our first cross country, I'm gonna have you navigate just with VORs and paper. Do the old school. And then after that we can use the iPad. But it's definitely something you have to know.
Right.
For your check ride, just in case your iPad dies, you know. Okay, so now we're, tell me what we're doing right now.
Waiting to cross over to see the front.
So what's our heading?
We're heading right now.
No, I'm just asking what you're doing.
Right now it's about 230. So.
And that's to intercept the radio, right?
Right.
Okay. There you go.
Starting to move. Just see the sign start to flip, and then we can activate that.
Okay.
Starting to move on the cool air up here.
Dot?
We got some nice cool air up here.
Oh yeah. What length?
About 50 degrees out there?
Yep.
Not bad.
It's crazy how much of a difference you can feel with.
That adiabatic temperature change.
I know that voice from anywhere.
Yeah. I've only talked with her like once, but very distinct before.
Yeah.
Do you know where she's from, or was it an accent from?
Italian.
Italian.
I thought she was Russian.
Yeah.
But she's Italian.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Alright, so we have switched from to, or to from to, so now I need to try and intercept the heading, which is to the right. So
Alright.
I'm going to want to fly, I'm going to put it probably about 255-ish, because we are so close to the VOR.
That's good thinking right there.
We'll have bigger changes from smaller course adjustment. I was just double checking for adjustment.
But heading
for the procession here.
Okay.
Been a bit, but we haven't done a lot of dramatic turns today, so
Yeah.
crazy to think though that they used to navigate guided missiles off of
VORs?
inertial, not off of VORs, but off of inertial
Oh.
Basically how much the gyroscope processes as it's moving. That's how they would determine its navigation. You could guide pretty precisely with that.
I think I know airliners still use that sort of technology. They call it INR.
Yeah, so inertial navigation.
Yeah.
A lot of, so military still uses that too.
For the missiles or for...
Not for missiles, but like for the actual planes, because GPS jamming is just way too easy
Oh yeah.
to be completely reliable.
It boggles my mind though, like, it must be really accurate for them to use that in an airline or like that is...
It's not really accurate, it's accurate enough where you're not getting into like dead reckoning and pilotage.
That's crazy. And it's totally just detached from GPS, right? It's just inertia.
Gyroscope set.
That's crazy.
Starts to move again.
Alright.
Back towards the west.
Okay. So right now we're flying away from the station on the 270 radio.
Right.
That's cool.
Alright, looks like we're lined up. So I'm on to a west heading.
So this is also where Victor Airways come into place. So right now, do you know what Victor Airway we're on?
I see it on the map here, but I don't know off the top of my head.
There should be a sign somewhere.
B108?
Yep, so Victor 108.
Yep.
So you can use this to navigate, you know, from between airports.
So we're, I guess we're kind of on it, kind of not, just because the actual heading is 272 for Victor 108.
You're using a VOR system to navigate, so...
Not going to be that precise.
Exactly. Alright, cool. So the whole issue of reverse sensing is when everything is backwards. You're flying from the station, but you have to set for to the station. That's when you're going to have the reverse sensing issues. So right now we are on the 270 radio.
Right.
Well, if you want to be more accurate, we can also set this to 272.
Right.
And that should I think it's a little bit more accurate for Victor Airway. So once you get a line, I'll show you what reverse is.
And the course deviation there was detrimental when you see the one that's doing there. So standard high altitude VOR is supposed to be able to be picked up 130 nautical miles out. I wasn't able to see, or I didn't see anything specifically on what an expanded VOR or high altitude was visible from now.
So what was the question? I'm not...
So I know a high altitude VOR is supposed to be able to be picked up at least 130 nautical miles away from the station.
Okay.
But I wasn't able to see what a banded high altitude.
Banded high altitude. Do you know which altitudes? You could pick it up at 130 nautical miles.
It should be 60,000 feet for high altitude, or up to.
The 130 should be about 45,000 to 6,000. When we get on the ground, I'll show you the chart. You know how to find the chart, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This should be in a chart something. Not chart something, it's the aim.
Yeah.
Okay. So once you get centered, I'll show you what the reverse sensing is. I'm gonna throw you off. So right now, what is this telling us?
It's telling us that I am to the left of it, so I need to come back.
To the right of it. Okay. So the thing up the line as your radio. And this circle is your aircraft position.
Right here. Right, so I need to turn to the left.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Okay, we're gonna assume that this is our heading up, gonna keep us centered. Okay. So the opposite is, let's see, 09092. So we have this set for 092 to the station. So our planes have to be backwards, but we are flying in this opposite direction. So see what the needle does and let me know if you notice it.
So everything's going to be flip-flops when it's pointing to the right, the recentering to go left.
So essentially now you become the needle, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So wherever the position of the needle is, that tells you where your aircraft is, which can confuse a lot of people. So this is why you want to make sure you're on a proper radio and you understand what the VOR is saying.
What it's doing.
So you can see how this can trip you if you're in IMC.
Right.
Get the assurance there. Okay, I'm going to have you put the goggles on. Okay. Okay, that's controls.
Alright, see if I can put these on with the glasses on top.
Alright. Get back to 9.
Not quite want to sit right, but
Uncomfortable?
no, just the way that the arms are, they didn't want to quite hook on.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So I got it. We're good.
Okay, air controls.
My controls.
Okay, let's navigate to the Black Forest VOR.
Black Forest VOR. Okay, so 1125.
Okay.
Alright.
And then let's fly the 085 radio.
085. Okay.
085 radio, yep.
Alright. And we are currently headed to Clement.
Okay. Alright, so let's make it easier for you. Climbing to the station. Whatever radios take us to the station.
Alright, so we want to head west, so we'll call it approximately, get on the west radial there. See what that does for us.
Okay, so under the foggles, I want to see you head back to the airport.
Head back to the airport?
Yeah, do whatever you gotta do.
Alright. Don't want to go more or less. Or more or less just ground track. Because we are in VFR, I can just pick up the Aegis on the hill. I don't have to have to
get touch and goes, like 2 touch and goes to practice soft takeoff.
Alright. So because we're going to approach, I assume we're going to want to go back to the one, you're going to want to go to 1240, right?
Can't do that.
Here, okay. And then I'll put the tower back in my standby. Approach 789 November, request for return to the airport for 2
You gotta tell them your location, so they don't know where we are.
That was us, right?
Yeah.
461. Squawk 461. 789 Fast. It's been a bit since I...
So whenever you exit the airspace or any airspace and you come back in,
Talk to them and tell them your location, altitude.
yeah.
I forgot the location part. So right now we are 19.5 miles east. So they gave me the kicks gloves a little bit on that.
What do you say? What was that?
Midfield downwind.
For which runway?
For runway 35 right.
Okay.
Then once I fix my book here, I'm going to ask whether that's...
That's enough. Okay, so I'll give you vectors.
I was going to ask if it was after way downwind for...
Yeah, sure.
35, so...
Probably gonna be right. But, yeah, whenever you're not sure. So. Okay, let's fly 240 and then descend down to 8,005.
Okay.
I got it. You're still on the pauses.
I know. I was just saying. I saw it come across my nose here, and I was
okay. So you're just simulating that you're
right.
You're flying IMC and you're being radar vector.
It was so my point was just more that
you saw it.
it was lower than I've seen planes flying out here.
Oh yeah. You can go as slow as 500 feet. Okay, so 240 descending down to 85. Right. And that's spring east right there. A very bad runway.
Got bumpy all of a sudden.
Yeah. So today was just an intro to VOR Navigation. On the next flight, I'm going to have you navigate to Pueblo.
Just by VORs?
Just by VORs. Cool. Have you do a landing there, and we'll come back to do unusual attitude.
That must be Brendan.
Yeah. Just start to recognize the voices. Alright, let's descend down to 8,000.
8,000, alright.
So this should give us about an hour of measurement time.
That was about what I was estimating.
You need 3 hours of stuff. Give me a 250 on the other.
250. Keep overshooting it because I get bumped in the last second.
Okay, let's go over the before landing checklist.
Okay. So descent was throttle, mixture, lights and POV as required. Dual select is on both, mixture's good.
Okay. And once we are inbound for landing, I'm gonna have you do a short field landing.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we can't practice landing good. Touching those good.
Yeah. I would have suggested Meadow Lake except all the talk on basically the towers of saying to everyone who goes out that way, there's a bunch of people in the batter.
Yeah, I know, alright? So. Alright, yeah.
Contact tower 1. Alright. Spring tower 78999 November. 3 field downwind on 135 right.
Alright, so once you get on downwind, I'll have you take off the goggles.
Okay.
Alright.
We're close to the airport. Just get back here.
Alright. Let's descend down.
Pattern altitude.
Yep, that's 500 foot per minute. Give me a constant descent rate. Keep that 500 foot per minute descent. 300, right?
Yep.
500. Okay, you can take the boggles off and then line down. Alright.
I think my biggest pet peeve with these glasses is that anywhere that's not directly up, basically a circle right in front of my eyes, is a little distorted because of how thick they are.
Is it both eyes or just one eye?
It's for both eyes, because I'm -7.5, -8.
My left eye is the thickest one.
So,
Okay, so this will be a short field.
okay. So, it'll be full flap 65.
Spring Power Cherokee 38999 are ready to take off runway 31 at Foxtrot.
Cherokee 38999, Spring Tower 134012, runway 31, clear takeoff.
Clear for takeoff runway 31.
Assume we're extending our downwind based off of that guy right there.
Okay.
99 November, extend down on October, check as well as a Skyhawk up on Alpha.
Extend down when you call me.
That was a good catch because I don't think he told us anything after that. He just said down.
He did not. But you're supposed to check the final and base
Base,
when
yeah.
before you make your turns. So.
That's good.
And he said there's a Skyhawk on 5 mile final. So.